thundering roar, our engines scream. Armored fists of vengeance fuel the dream. Across the barren waste, we carve our tale. The warpugs rise, we will never fail. Good times rhymes with war crimes. In the endless fight, we're the justice line. And as the stardust settles, we march ahead. Through broken ships and the fields of the dead. No mercy, no retreat. The Emperor's decree. Our banner raised high from system to sea.
Hello, Warpugs.
And our spirits high. The warpugs charge, wings spread to fly. Through asteroid belts, our ships cut through. Burning engines bright. In chains
Hi, Warpugs.
of blue. With a howl to the stars, the warpugs unite. In the name of freedom,
God.
we bring the fight. Every scar we bear, a badge of honor, war.
I hope so.
From shattered worlds,
I'm gonna be adding a few tracks from Holland. I'm gonna be adding a few tracks from Holland into the intro, maybe. So, there is going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of just waiting and impatience for the next one in this series. The first time they all get together. I honestly can't wait. Hey, what's going on? I have been trying to have a little bit more fun with some of the intros, doing a little bit more just a lot. Meet me by half 5K. I don't know how many people can play it. That's the only problem that I have right now. But I wanted to definitely do something for game night. Game night was a lot of fun, as it usually is. But there's been a lot of requests already for let's see, Among Us, more Secret Labs, and 5K itself. So we're gonna have to see what all we can do. But oh yeah, it is time for us to enjoy the fourth episode of the Norfolk Wizard game, and I can't wait for this. So we have been patiently waiting. As soon as when you guys told me about it, we went through and Party Animal sounds fun, Alpha and Omega. We went through and we went caught up and got towards the middle of this. I do know about the Orc one shot. That there are so many streams I have to do, and I am so happy to have them. Thank you, Troy. Think of the views if you had published the Assassin video, but just before Saturday. Oh my god, dude. I'm not gonna comment on that. But guys, stay safe. Stay safe. And just, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. I appreciate everybody that was with me in voice chat when I found out what was going on, because I wanted to go live, and it took a little bit of convincing of everyone not to, because I did not want to. They told me, you've never been political before, no reason to get so now. And that is very true. Hey, Sleep Logs, how you doing, bud? Do you know of any way to cut down a video while keeping the original recording intact? I sure do. I definitely want, I'll definitely give you that a try. So I already had to chat ban somebody. I've already had to chat ban somebody in the lead up to this. If you spoil anything I'm going to do it again, and I really, really don't feel like that, doing that. You have a funny clip you want to share from a single lab stream? Dude, that would be, yes. Yes. Warpugs, X in chat if you're ready to go. X in chat if you're ready for the power to reclaim history. It is the awakening of Parker Knickerbocker. And the next time, I believe all 4 of them are going to be together. I have my water because I can't drink soda anymore because I'm not allowed, apparently. But I am also wiped out. Kyle, I don't know about if I'm ever going to do that. I really don't. I might, but I have done a lot of that. Like, I have been concerned about that just because of copyright. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Avalon. Avalon has also posted her newest thing of the Fulgrim Apology Tour. I recommend you go check that out. Now, let's get into it. Here we go. You gotta love this intro. It's too awesome. Loyal.
Was that just a dream? Was that
Hey, Berserker, what's up?
dream? Was that just in my head? That's just not how it feels. Was that really just a dream? No, that's not how it feels.
I love this intro. I love this intro. Oh! Meep. Wanted to let you know that I'm going to be seeing if there's a way to put it on Patreon, but as soon as I tried to upload the gunfighter, it legitimately stomped me in the face. Like, YouTube instantaneously stomped me in the face. Orc and a firework will do a fusion dance. Well, I know. I actually listened to this on my own time. I've listened to this like 30 times. I still love it. Right, mate.
All right, let's rock.
All right.
Peter Knickerbocker.
No, it's Parker.
What?
Parker Knickerbocker. You've not lived your whole life surrounded by ships and oceans. The hum of Norfolk, Virginia, is not as familiar to you as it may be to others. The large Navy ships always in dock. The skyscrapers never quite being worthy of their title.
True.
How would you describe your relationship with the city?
I would say the buildings, the blocks almost feel like shackles. because while in a heartbeat I would drop my dreams to take care of my parents again, there is that resentment that's still there, and the city itself has come to take on that prison characteristic. It may have been my parents that pulled me here, but it feels like the city that's weighing
With
me
failed
down
diet
like
syndrome?
concrete
Jesus,
shoes.
dude. Why?
And it's that same weight that you woke up with this morning. That same weight that followed you around on your daily business. That followed you around as the sun began to set and has followed you here to the beginning of your shift at your parents' store, the Knickerbocker. As the clock rapidly approaches the sterling time of 7 p.m., you respond to a supplication from your family to just watch after their store for a couple of hours so they can get some rest. Instantly, the familiar wafting of decaying things, of dust and tarnished brass fill your lungs.
Something
Lovely.
that bothers me about the smell is the sense of slow decay. So many of the things arrayed here are American antiques, and America isn't old enough to have things that are properly old. Maybe there are some artifacts that are old enough to be properly old, but everything here feels like it's still in the process of dying.
And there's no exception for the human occupant. At the desk, you see, in an old smoking jacket, the rotund form of your aging father, who usually would greet you with alacrity, with charm, with a smile, but right now is snoring.
Hey, Black Wolf,
rather
you be
loudly.
careful. Enjoy
And if you're
enjoy
wondering
the
what
show,
that
bud.
sounds like, it sounds like this.
I feel personally attacked by that sound. I feel personally attacked by that sound, okay?
I'll walk over to him and hold his nose closed.
And you see blue eyes bolt awake, bulging with veins, and they look over at you and say, by God, Parker,
It's Santa!
don't do that to me while I'm sleeping.
You really are going full
Raina?
Orson Welles with this.
Why not, right?
You're the one who asked me to come in.
I did ask you to come in, but not to suffocate me. I was having the most
Maybe I'll talk to you about that later,
dream,
bud.
Parker. I was on a water slide made entirely out of beef jerky.
How
What?
you have dreams like that in a place like this is maddening.
Well, it's easy. We're already surrounded by so much salt and aged meat and the leather. But it was a good dream, Parker. It was a good dream.
Well, you can continue it. Go rest, Dad. I've got this.
Very well. I would like to just let you know we're going to be having a rather important customer come in, which is the only reason I called you in this late. I
Sleep.
see to myself, but
Really?
I've got this surgery tomorrow, and
Usually it's just kids walking in and stealing stuff.
well, we make an exception. This person's come all the way from, I don't know, he says he's European,
That's bad.
but he's got an interest in a few objects. I'd ask if you could just make sure that you give him a decent tour around the place. I do hate to bring this upon you. I mean, I
No, Dad, it's fine. It's
all
fine.
right, all right. You said it's fine. You're starting to boil my cackles. Oh, you'll handle it, Parker. You always do.
I always do.
But you just need to understand, you're still... To me, I look at you and I see a babe in diapers still. And he puts a giant, meaty, clubbed hand
Jesus.
on your shoulder. It weighs on you like a large log. Campfire log. What a beautiful... Holy fuck, I'm so out of it. It weighs... I'll be upstairs if anything... It's too much. If things set fire, if the man gives you
I will,
trouble,
Dad, I will.
You better be sure to holler for me, because you know I make time.
I will.
All right.
All right.
Oh, it really was a delightful dream. Those sausages. And he wanders upstairs, back way, talking about roasted meats.
Ah, yes. Another sausage dream.
Your father's been having a lot of those lately.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it means he's in good health.
Maybe it's
No.
Freudian.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
All right. So, you find yourself alone in the empty antique store. Well, not quite empty, because your companions are all around you. Ventriloquist dolls hanging on ancient dressers, furniture that might as well be from the Roman Empire with how aged it is. Sure, America doesn't have a lot of history, but it doesn't exactly make it adverse to partaking in the history of others.
On the contrary,
That was a very British statement.
sometimes American objects have a specific sort of life to them.
Is there an object like that here?
Ooh. You know what? There is an ornate mirror that was clearly meant to mimic some European designs, but didn't quite get there. That's one that I like looking at. Sometimes I'll look at it and try to spot any new wrinkles to mark the passage of time.
And it's
Dude, this guy's more emo than the emo. He's more emo than the goth at this point, okay?
there for you. And in fact, its position makes you question how your dad got any sleep, because it's glaring straight at you. And you see the whole of your persona reflected back. Wrinkles and all. And I'd like to take this opportunity, Parker, to ask you, could you please describe yourself?
Parker is a lean fellow, a little bit wiry, certainly not a strong fellow. His thin legs have relatively tight-fitting jeans on them, and he has a turtleneck that goes
God.
all the way up just underneath his chin, and sleeves that wrap what seem to be concerningly tightly around his wrists, like they're restraining him. He has what appear to be calm eyes, a long face. His eyes seem sleepy at first, but there's an intensity behind them, behind that tiredness and that.
Another skinny leg jean dude. Another one. I remember when skinny leg jeans came out. My pant, like, okay, not knocking the late 90s style, but Jesus Christ, you could have used my pants when I was in high school to build a parachute. And not just for a person, for a tank, okay? Big leg jeans were a thing. And then they went from big leg jeans to basically skin tight jeans overnight, and I did not understand it. I never went to skin tight jeans. No.
Weariness. Oh, and of
Thank
course, his
God it
round
only
glasses.
lasted for about 6
When
months.
you look at him from the side, his eyes seem tired, but when his eyes are magnified by his glasses, he seems very intense.
You seem like the kind of person that could really use a masseuse.
Yeah, and a drink. Never quite gotten to drinking, but always considered it.
Well, if there's one thing you can pick up right now, it's that habit. Your father's left a nice whiskey decanter on the desk. Clearly had been sampling it.
Weighing the decision, I have someone coming in. Maybe I need to be on my best behavior, and then I realize no matter who this is, no matter what they could be offering, there is no way that the result of this conversation is going to change my station. I pour out a shot glass and I just throw it back.
You throw it back, the acrid tang hits your throat like
Yep,
a
there's the solution.
fastly falling elevator. It tumbles upon rocks like a man falling from the side of Mount Fuji. Why don't you go ahead and make me a stamina check? What that
Please tell me he's one shot and done.
is essentially you'd be rolling your stamina. In
Okay.
your case, I believe your stamina is 2.
Okay.
And 6s are successes. This is just to see how you fare with the alcohol.
Okay. 3 and a 5.
No successes. You're not drunk at all.
Hmm.
No one, not even you, could possibly get drunk on a single shot of whiskey. But
Wanna bet?
it doesn't sit right with you, and you kind of instantly sort of regret it. It feels like there's a small war being waged in your intestines, and it didn't take so good. So pushing the whiskey to the side for a moment, here among these faded glories, you find yourself sitting and sitting and sitting, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's at that time that the door shoots open like a cannonball as the bell at the top rings, shaking you awake. And you see, waltzing in is a man dressed ostentatiously. And he still looks like shit. You see this tailored, immaculate, white suit. He's got impressive sunglasses, rings bejeweling every finger, and a big old white hat. He looks less like a man who's kind of come in wearing top-of-the-line stuff, and more like someone who's recently robbed a rather ostentatious
Good reference, Nathan.
hand-me-down store, like a Goodwill for the elite. Regardless of his personal visage, he makes the first move in speaking to you. Well,
I could make so many Boondocks references right now because I swear to God, this looks like a race swapped a pimp named Slickback. Am I right on this? Somebody tell me I'm right on this. And remember, it's not just Slickback, it's a pimp named Slickback. That's what he looks like. That's who he looks like.
They told me
From
this was a
Boondocks.
small store, but it's not exactly what I was expecting. I kind of thought even still it'd be a little roomier.
We find places to store things.
What's the cost of storage out here? It's going to be a lot.
You'd have to ask my dad about the specific financials, but, more than we'd like, less than it could be.
You're not Humphrey?
No, I'm his son.
Don't even bring up Uncle
He
Ruckus
has
Avalon.
entrusted me with dealing with you tonight.
Oh, well, I guess he must have had a pretty good reason to delegate me. Walks up to you with a confident swagger, his boots making a sharp dig into the floor as he moves forward. He gives a bejeweled hand to you. Cyrus Carling.
Parker Knickerbocker. And, if I may say, I do not believe that you have been delegated. Rather, I think I may be his secret weapon.
You're a secret weapon? Are we at war?
I'm only exaggerating. I have some experience in archaeology.
Oh, you're an archaeologist. That makes sense. I'm actually something of an archaeologist myself.
Christ almighty. I'm actually something of a scientist myself.
Really?
That's right.
So Parker at this point, he can't.
Christ! Oh, God. Oh, I can't believe he did that. I cannot believe that he did that. Speaker D is vile for that one.
Can't help just sort of continuing to eye his clothing. Can he tell anything about the specific clothing, like where it's from? Certainly, I'm looking for a pattern in the clothing.
I'll let you give me a intelligence etiquette check.
Sure.
Difficulty 8.
Okay.
So this means that your difficulty number is now 8.
Okay.
That is 1 critical failure, but 2 successes.
That's
so
correct.
I got
He
1.
loves studying at
Yeah,
McDonald's.
1 success. With your 1 success, you're able to tell some of this actually is designer pretty objectively, but the years are mismatched. This designer suit was clearly manufactured sometime in the 90s and kind of probably got passed down between a couple of owners. He looks like a man building his outfit in accordance to the Macklemore school of thought.
Okay.
He looks very Novo rich, let's say.
Right. Do I recognize where he could have bought any of this? Specifically, he would have knowledge of other stores in town.
Yeah, actually, there is one store that he could have bought some of this ensemble from. Not the clothes, but the rings.
Okay.
Madame Juilliard's Jewelry.
Okay.
It's just a kind of local-owned jewelry exchange. They sometimes work with your father. They're not super-duper prestigious, but you might have recognized one of the rings in the windowsill.
So, here's what I'm going to do with that knowledge.
Do it. Let's hear it.
Since you're here, before we get to specific business, would you like to take a look
Yes,
around?
Avalon.
And I will specifically guide him toward some of the antique jewelry that we have.
This is a pimp named Slickback off of Wish, okay? I'm just saying.
Oh, are you kidding me? I've got nothing but time. Let's go. Show me around, kid. I'll tell you all about, whatever. And you can show me all of, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I will sort of take him over to the jewelry section and give him a little bit of background on each of the little bits of jewelry that we have. Parker does have quite the memory, so he learns about all of the jewelry. This is something
they were both
that his
modeled after
parents
each other,
didn't do
Commander
very
Wolf.
much, but something that he introduced when he came in. The profits started increasing because he was able to tell the stories of all of the objects. Sometimes he would add a little bit of a flourish to the histories of these objects, but they would mostly be grounded in reality, or could have been real, plausibly.
One of the rings that you've shown him does actually seem to grasp his attention. It is a gold and silver ring with a large inlaid ruby.
Hooray.
Now that looks impressive. Can I take a look at that?
Of course.
Go ahead.
What I will do is I won't hand it to him. I will present it in front of his face so he can take a closer look. I don't want him just grabbing at it.
He leans in and he takes a close look. He actually puts his hands to his sunglasses and he twists the lens. All right. I mean, it's impressive, but it's, run-of-the-mill sort of thing.
I suspect you are a bit more discerning than that, sir.
Oh, I'm a very discerning fellow.
Why don't you discern your ass out the door?
This ruby was worn by one of the families that first came to America. It was from a German family who took their wagons and rode west, and then their descendants during the mid-1800s came back. We have a couple of books on the jewelry that they brought with them.
Alpha, Omega,
All
he
right.
does.
Now, here's the part where I ask you,
Okay.
is that even remotely true?
So I'm going to say it was true that it was brought over. However, it's not clear if this made the trek there and back. It could have, but it also probably was left behind in New England.
Okay. Well, I'll be nice and I'll say, give me a manipulation subterfuge.
Liar,
Difficulty
pants
6.
on fire.
Okay. Oh, dear.
Well, here's the good news.
Okay.
That is not a botch, which is a critical fail. A botch only occurs if you happen to not get any successes, but you still rolled ones.
Nice.
I see.
So it's not the worst it could be. But still, that's no successes. This guy takes a look at you and he gets this wire-wide smile. And he flashes his yellowed teeth.
Oh, great.
So this is a guaranteed relic from the Mayflower.
So you can get like hand-me-down busted clothes, but you can't afford Colgate tooth whitening. Bitch, you a lie.
Our society types, right?
Not necessarily the Mayflower, but one of the early families.
Right, the early families. Except for, here's the onion. There's no way that jewel was cut any more recently than the 70s. And trust me, I know. So maybe the ring was. But come on. You can't fast sell me. I appreciate the effort, though. I think you're good.
Parker, at this point, just kind of... He crumples in on himself a little bit.
Oh, kid. He wraps a serpentine arm around you. Don't look so sour. Listen, it's the grind that gets you, right? It's the effort. I like it. I like a little bit of a hustle. Now, let me tell you something. Or rather, I'll let you tell me something. You said that you're something of a, archaeologist?
To be honest, American artifacts, well, recent American artifacts, immigrant artifacts are not my specialty.
Well, what's your realm of expertise, senor?
Anything old enough to have completely lost its odor. Specifically, I found myself interested in what few remaining Native American artifacts there are, and some Egyptology.
No, not the Grim Guy Hobbit.
Man, listen. We need more people digging through those dirt. Let me tell you something. I've been everywhere, right? I've been in Helsinki. I've been in Osaka. I've been everywhere in the world. Those are essentially the only 2 places in the world, and I've been in both. So, listen. I get it.
I've been in one of them.
We need people of your talents digging through the dirt, finding this stuff. So don't get too crushed down and broken because I happen to see through your fast sell. And hey, let me show you something, kid. You'll like it. He reaches into his coat pocket, which seems to contain an endless amount of nonsense. You actually hear metal pinging amongst each other. You see it kind of go in a little deeper than it might suggest before he pulls out a Polaroid. It's a stone wall. Old stone wall. One that's been separated from what it's meant to be a part of and instead looks like it's in some kind of ritzy art gallery. There's a large circle bulging out of the wall. It looks high up, at least 2 men high. And I'd like you, if you don't mind, to go ahead and make me an intelligence academics roll. And this will be archaeology, so your 10s will count as 2 successes.
All right, I'm going to beckon to him and say, come on over. And I'm going to sit down at the table and bring a light and peer down at it.
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difficulty here?
I would actually say it's difficulty 5 because this is your realm of expertise.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes total, minus the 1 from the crit fail, 6.
He starts to explain it to you, but you already knew what it was before he gets far into it.
So what is it that was bulging at the top again?
A large circle, looks almost like
circle.
the lifesaver candy.
Okay, gotcha. So like a donut shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yes, this is a goalpost of that mysterious ancient Mesoamerican ball game. One that had been played long before Columbus set sail on his bloody voyage.
Okay, so just a little bit of commentary about that particular game. The 2 teams would play each other, and the team that won got sacrificed to the gods.
And
that must have been the longest game ever.
The wall has clearly been transplanted from its original space to your new friend's personal gallery. So this, I wound up having to get a team of people. We had to push it uphill, right? And let me tell you, they don't make those hills too kind down there in the South Americas.
Where is this now?
I got it in my abode, you know.
Your abode where?
Oh, I got it in my, actually...
in the side of a mountain next to a cave.
My yacht.
I see. So Parker just sort of goes straight-faced. This is insulting to Parker. To him, these objects with history like this are practically animate, and whatever affection that he's had for this man has turned into a similar feeling that someone would have learning that they're a kidnapper. That is what this feels like. However, as I recall, I gave him poker face. So he is just going to keep a straight face and he is going to maintain his interest. and he's not going to let on just how pissed off he is right now. Like, viscerally.
Let me tell you, it was a regular Fitzcarraldo out there. It was insane. Why don't you go ahead and roll me manipulation, subterfuge.
I have a list of things I don't want to screw with. Ancient civilization artifacts being one of them. Especially one being tied to this much death.
Face merit, if I'm not mistaken, will reduce the difficulty of that, yes? Yeah, that'll reduce your difficulty by -2. Those are 3 successes. He doesn't notice. Oh, yeah. But listen, I got a boat full of that kind of thing, you know, lots of stuff. I usually don't really do too much with the Mesoamerican sort of thing. I'm more of a, got my pedigree in other societies. But, you know, I figure, you know, Virginia, it's great and balmy Virginia. I figure it's a good spot to start to enhance my collection. You know any good places I should be looking?
Excuse me. You're looking for culture in Norfolk, Virginia. What? What? There is no such thing as that in Norfolk, Virginia. You have history, you have drunks. Pick one, move on.
Free estate dig sites. I might be willing to cut you in.
Retchamon, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm afraid
bud.
I have been a bit detached for a little while. You see, I've been working with my parents here for the last 6 or so years, and by this point, most of the dig sites would have rotated, and I just haven't kept in contact.
I understand. Well, listen, here's my card anyway if you're interested. And he reaches in and he hands you a rather nice-looking business card that proudly states Cyrus Carling, adventurer, historian, collector, archaeologist, Carolingian.
Carolingian?
Yeah. My pop's got our family tree traced all the way back from a good old Louis the German.
Impressive.
Oh, well, thanks. You know, it was a real bitch to get it recognized, I heard, but, I don't know, that was a problem for, great-great-great-grandpappy or something. Me, I'm happy just, rolling in the benefits of an aristocratic upbringing. But really, I consider myself a citizen of the
God,
world.
Anubis.
So, what was it that you came into our humble shop to inquire about?
An excellent question. I'm gonna lay it to you straight, okay, kid? You guys got a grandpappy clock, and I'm buying.
Really?
That's right. Didn't your dad show you where it is? Said it was in the back, and you
didn't say anything specific. Come on, follow me. We'll take a look.
All right, I'll follow you.
Let's go.
Parker takes a forlorn look at the whiskey bottle and starts thinking about it again before leading them into the back.
All right, in the back, there's a few shipments, you know, from your father. Stuff he's ordered, stuff he's sending out. But there's a conspicuous package in black wood, taped up, fragile, that seems like it could contain
Cyrus the virus.
For.
There you go, Joshua.
And on the manifest, it confirms that. It says here, quite simply, Delamere Clock.
Dad, what have you been dabbling in?
All right, is this the thing? Is this the Delamere Clock? Is this the thing?
Parker, cocks his head, just examining it, and says, I would have to guess.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah! Oh, my fucking God, you don't know. You don't know, my friend. What was your name, Pablo?
Wow.
Parker.
Right, whatever. I've been looking for this thing for years. Oh, my God. It's been running from me, dude.
What is it?
All right. So, back in the day, why don't you crack that bad boy open? I'll tell you the history and you can look at it all pretty.
All right, so he goes ahead and starts prying this thing open.
You're able to get it open pretty easily. And inside is a rather intimidating massage. dark mahogany. It's
Mahogany.
beautiful. It's certainly twice the size of you, but it's engraved with these gorgeous hand-carved vines, like it's some sort of open orchard, like there are burnishing fruit carved in trees, and along the side, everything, it seems like it's some semblance of life. Fruit of the bounty of the earth. But upon closer inspection, it's no fruit at all. In place of each grape, apple and orange, and beautiful piece of delicately carved fruit, there is, instead of the bounty of nature, a death's head. In the very center of this grandfather clock, varnished with gold and what you can only presume as platinum, is some kind of cane. With a head like a globe in the shape of Pangea. It seems like that's amid the workings of the clock. All right, kiddo, story time. Once upon a time, it was way back in the day. What does way back in the day mean to you?
Tuesday, by the way.
He shrugs.
Right, well, it's even way backer in the dayer than that.
Okay.
Right? We're talking like, fucking Constantine times, okay? There was a guy.
A guy.
His name was Delamere. And this guy was one cool customer, right? All the lords and ladies of all the land, they came thirsting for his advice, because it was said that Delamere knew a rather intricate secret. That for the right price, that for the right supplicatory subject, Delamere could turn back the clock on you. Could give you more life. More years. And buddy, let me tell you, people killed for that kind of bounty. This thing's found its way through medieval courts the world over. You name a country, it's been there, buddy. So long as that country isn't, past Central Asia. It's not been there, but it's been everywhere else. And let me tell you, it's one hell of an item, isn't it? You see, Delamere, he wasn't satisfied with just turning back the clock for some would-be nobleman. He would do the whole shebang. There would be pigeons and fireworks and whatever else he could get his hands on. Some great big show of winding back the clock. And that lasted him for a while. Until people wisened up. They realized that they still got old, they still got liver spots. And well, poor old Delamere, he was, chained to a cross, set on fire, whole shebang, real bad way to go. But the clock stayed. And the legend stayed too. And I want to see...
Why are your eyes glowing, pal? Yes, this is the rod of the 7 pence, meant to keep the hands strong.
This beautiful, majestic hunk of garbage in my living room. Because quite frankly, I deserve it.
Wow.
Parker turns from him and begins more carefully inspecting the clock. And Parker starts examining the finer details, running his fingers over the mahogany.
You see, they said that Delamere couldn't do it, but some people, it's rumored, managed to make it work. Now, I don't know if you believe in any of that hoity-toity bullshit. But honestly, just the idea of it gets me going. So, now you know.
What?
I'm willing to pay top dollar for it. Pretty good dollar, too. And quite frankly, I'm rich, I'm loaded, I've got the money. So why don't, buddy boy, you name me a decent price. We'll haggle, we'll gaggle, we'll Google, goggle, gaggle. And then, once it's in my position, buddy, I'll buy you the nicest drink I can afford.
Parker
Okay.
opens the clock, reaches in, grabs the cane. He examines it for a little bit, appreciating its craftsmanship. And under his breath, he allows himself to murmur, "You don't deserve this."
What was that?
No matter what you think of yourself, no matter what you've accomplished, you don't deserve this.
Uh-oh.
That's just like your opinion, man. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't fucking know me.
I would like you to come with me for just a second. The clock's not going anywhere. Don't worry.
Got
Okay.
a second. But I just want you to know something, kid. I don't cotton kindly to people trying to pull this shit on me. So whatever you have for me, Peter, better be something good.
Can Spider-Man come out to play? Anyhow.
He walks over to the front desk and picks up the
I think
Polaroid
you did break him.
and hands it back to him. And Parker says, "What is this?"
It's a picture.
I know what it is. What is in the picture? What is it really?
What is it really? It's an ancient goalpost from some old ass, indigenous ball game. And it's really interesting and of great historical and recreational value.
Okay.
We agree on some points. But this isn't just an object. This was the dream of people. This was what people aspired to, but it also was just something daily to them. It's theirs.
Oh, come on, kid, you're killing me. Everyone aspires to everything. People aspire to become plumbers, you know? You ever seen that kid? What was he on the news? And it was some late night TV lawyer. He asked him to come to his birthday party. Come on. It's not that deep.
Parker walks back over to the clock and places the cane back inside of it. Turns to this man and says, "I need to speak with my father about this, but he is a bit exhausted right now. That's why I'm here, of course. I'm looking after the shop."
Oh my
We will
God.
discuss a price. I will discuss a price with him. It's clear that he knows more. I will see you first thing tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you kidding me? Kid, there won't be a tomorrow morning. If you... do you understand how long I've been looking for this fucking thing? And every single time I've had it in my grasp, it runs away! And I'm not gonna let that happen. So I tell you what, I want you to imagine a number. Just pick a number. There's dozens of them. Even more than that, maybe. I want you to think of one of those numbers. I want you to give it to me, and then I'm gonna give you that amount of money, and then you're gonna give me the clock!
Oh, I couldn't dream of overcharging you, sir.
Then how about I give you a fucking $5 bill, and I tell you that if you don't sell this to me tonight, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your fucking life.
I doubt
Okay.
there's another regret that you could give me that I'd care about.
Oh, kid. You know what? I gotta say, I respect respect the spunk. I respect the attitude. I respect the ferocity.
Uh-huh.
Then take that respect and that carpet sample you're wearing and get out of here.
All right.
Dude, just roast him to filth. Come on. Go after his cut, his shoes, his everything. Let's go.
The clock was one thing. You know, my Moby Dick that I've been chasing for years. That was one thing. And the picture and the talk about dreams, you know. You know, I could take that. But then you go ahead and you talk bad about my outfit. And it's at that point I decide, you know what? I think I'm just gonna rob you. And he reaches into his jacket and he pulls out the strangest gun you have ever seen in your life. This thing is a revolver made out of revolvers. There are multiple chambers on a ring that oscillate underneath it. Strange wires come out of one of the handles into another device nearby the hilt, and he points it directly at you. So, kid, why don't you pack in the clock? I'll get my people to move it in, and then maybe you'll see a check in the mail.
What are the visual influences upon this thing?
This looks like someone made a Colt Python into a Desert Eagle and then hooked it up to a guitar amp, shrunk that guitar amp down, stuck it to the side, and then decided that drum mags were simply too stupid. It needed to be dumber. There's like a ring of like 4 different revolver shots that are there around. It looks like this gun is designed to shoot 6 times and then rotate. Shoot 6 times and then rotate.
Parker is unimpressed. This is embarrassing. Please leave.
Huh? Okay.
What?
So he takes the gun and he shoots you in the head. Or would you like to try to dodge, my friend?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be
All right,
nice.
So he got you with 3 successes, but you can go ahead and dodge, which would be athletics dexterity.
Well,
So with 2 successes and with your dodge roll, you are barely able to get out of the way of the worst of it. You find that this weapon instead just it almost emulsifies part of your shoulder. All the glass in this room shatter all at once, coming down in this sea of shards as he just pulls the hammer back. There's a ready. He points that at you again.
Really?
All right.
what is the condition of my shoulder right now?
Essentially, the flesh underneath it seems like it has bubbled and then burst out. Now, you're going to be taking 2 health levels of damage. That's going to bring you down to injured.
To injured,
So
yeah.
you are going to be -1 on all checks until you get that patch done.
Right, so Parker is gonna fucking cut and run. He's going to try to hide in the clutter of this back room.
All right, go ahead and make me a Dex Athletics real quick.
Okay.
Huh.
Oh, that's rough.
What orc contraption did this guy wire together? Like, seriously, this gun is like Wish Doom guns.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. You start to run, and instead he just grabs you by the neck, and he lifts you up, and then pushes you against the box, against the clock, even. I like you. I really do. I wasn't lying when I said all those nice things. But this isn't gonna go your way at this point. I hope you know. And the next person that comes down here, they're gonna get a double dose of what you just took. So how about you start working with me here, buddy boy? With your neck in the grip of a man who represents everything you despise. In an antique store that you have always hated. With your shoulder raw and dripping blood.
Huh.
And your back against the very object this man would gladly kill you over. I must ask, will you submit? Or will you resist?
Parker is not a person who has historically had terribly much pride. But in this moment, he finds the strength to gurgle out a couple of words through the grip of this man's fist.
Oh my
And the
God.
words he chooses strategically are... Eat shit.
Okay.
You can tell that made him angry. His eyes widen behind his sunglasses. His smile turns to a frown. A shame, kid. I really did like you. And as he moves his gun up, there's a sudden...
Uh-oh.
And he kind of takes a second. Is that the clock?
I think so.
Supposed to be broken. Huh.
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 Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna kill you now. All of a sudden, you feel yourself being ripped from this as ghoulish arms grab every part of the body and rip backwards, careening back through some horrible dark void, occasionally pitch marked with stars, but mostly darkness until at last you are thrust forward. You are standing all of a sudden on a marble platform. In front of you, a multi-armed specter of death. This strange, spoon-like looking deity, this multi-armed freak, looks down at you with 10 gleaming eyes, and it looks deep at you, Parker, and it says...
I've come to tell you about your car's extended warranty.
April 22nd, 2020. Do you have the time?
Oh, yeah. He looks at his watch.
What?
7:43.
You will observe the thousands of generations to find the secrets of history, to find and unlock the secrets of history.
It makes these strange noises, these strange, unfathomable noises. It twitches around, and you find yourself in this insane, opalescent, glowing hellscape. And then finally, the eyes interlock, all on you. They veer backwards, like segmented sheets extending out into a flower. And in the center
What?
is a death's head. And it's that looks down and speaks to you.
Parker Knickerbocker, you have made history your hobby. You have made it your passion and calling. The secrets of the world lay bare for you to discover, and yet you languish in an antique store.
Okay.
Why?
Parker thinks for a moment.
Creature asks if you ever seen Neon Genesis eventually.
And he replies, because the same thing that animates my passion for historic objects is the same thing that drove me to return to my parents' antique store, to look after them, to care for them. Because there is value in what came before us, and it is important to show care for it.
You lie. You are no caretaker. You live for the adventure. You live for the dreams you have abandoned. You do not find the bliss in your task. You find it a city of shackles.
He stares at the ground wordlessly. He looks at his hands, and he notes every wrinkle in them. He curls his fingers inward and clenches his fists so tightly that he wonders if his palms will begin to bleed. He looks back up, and he nods, wordlessly.
I release
but only on a single condition. I will give you your life and more on a single condition. That you recognize that you are Mount St. Helens. You are Vesuvius and Lassen Peak. You are the thing buried in dirt. And you must rise. You must rise. Collector! We name you Collector! Will you rise?
Yes.
Then rush forward. And know my name is Earth.
And all of a sudden, the strange pillar, the strange platform you've been on, it begins circling and spiraling and circling and spiraling, and then all of a sudden, in this gleaming flash of light, your eyes awaken with an energy that you haven't had in a long time, and you find yourself no longer in the grip of the man who now is on the floor, his gun broken, his glasses askewed, looking at you, his yellowed white suit now aflush with soot, and you...
1 second. My wife just decided to call me. I need to get him. 1 second, guys. She heard me having fun. She heard me having fun.
You, with a staff in your hand, and a few moments to do whatever the hell it is that you want.
Parker looks down at this man, steps over him, squats down, looks at him, and says, I think you will be the first.
Hold on a second, kid. Hold on a second, kid. I've been through what you've been through. I know what you can do right now. I understand you in a way you don't. You kill me, you lose that.
Parker reaches his staff out, places it against his forehead, and the man turns to rough stone.
There's a flash which that well-suited man is now locked to
The floor of that antique store garage. Everything about him. Gone.
Parker looks into the eyes of the statue and says plainly, "You are about to bear witness to the greatest collection that you have ever seen."
Okay.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Norfolk Wizard Game. We hope this episode has brought you down a rabbit hole. Down, and further down still.
Okay.
The character of Parker Knickerbocker is performed by the unfathomable
You said I should
Frederick
watch.
Speaker D to Storytell.
You said I should watch the credits here, right, Hobbit?
Grug Cave.
If you enjoyed this session, follow us on YouTube at Bruva Alfabusa, or consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Alfabusa. There you can find sneak peeks at upcoming Ogre Popening projects, such as Hunter the Parenting, Half-Life Zero Viscosity, and of course, the Norfolk Wizard Game. Thank you again for watching.
Grug, watch other video now.
Okay.
That didn't go how I was expecting, but I'm chuffed. I'm pretty chuffed.
I hope you enjoyed it.
That was I think the improv rule of saying yes served me well.
Yes, absolutely. I must admit I did feel a little rusty here compared to others, but I think this was fantastic.
I'm rusty as well, so
Yeah,
I
think
hope
this
that I was a
fantastic.
decent player. I know that
you
I was
were
a little
delightful.
reactive.
You were delightful. No, and you're
Okay.
going to be learning the system. No, and I this was really fucking cool. Like I thought this was awesome, and you know, I'm really excited for Parker. I hope I gave you what you wanted.
Yes, absolutely. I feel
Nice.
like the character has some proper. I was hoping that during this, I'd be able to find impetus for Parker, and I think that we did.
Oh yeah. Oh, I really like that. I like the direction we wound up in. I think it's psychotic.
It's. Oh, go ahead.
I'm here for it. If
Nice.
you want, I
Yeah.
could give you
Figured it is awesome.
a suggestion
Mhm.
as to how to build into the idea of turning people to stone.
Mhm.
I would consider taking a dot out of mind or spirit and putting it into life.
Mm.
And I think that like with life 3, matter 3, prime 2, you can turn people into stone.
Mm.
Mhm.
So you'll be able to work up to that.
Okay, I'll move spirit or mind into life. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wanted to give you stuff for time, and I like your affinity is prime, which is creation. And
Right.
so I wanted to center that, but I also didn't want to just like give you, I am the Forge God. Like that's boring. I wanted to give you
Right.
something unique and something that I think would suit you and your stylings. And I do hope I delivered.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, I felt so, I've always been the GM, right? Like I'm always the one who's like weaving these stories together. And like, it took a lot of effort to sort of tamp down my pride and let someone else be the story weaver. Because I'm like, oh, I hope that I'm
Well, Speaker D is awesome at this.
like living up to it as the player, right? But that's not necessarily what it's about. And I have to swallow that. And in some ways, the arc of Parker during that scene followed my arc as well, swallowing swallowing my pride long enough to like know what I want, and I'm like, yes, I and I want to just bask in this.
Oh yeah. I fucking like it. So I would like to ask again. Did you have an idea for what your avatar would be like?
No.
Okay, great. So that was your avatar that you just
yes.
met. I will leave it to you to tell me the kind of thing that you would like it to be, or if you want me to just completely control it and just be like, hey, this is what you got. Let me know.
Okay.
I wanted something abstract enough to potentially serve many roles, which is why I went full abstract for yours.
Right. No, I appreciate it. I would
Stop talking about the Salsa Verde. Stop bringing it up. It doesn't exist in this universe anymore. Salsa Verde has been retconned to the point of absurdity.
love to see where you take it, but I feel like in this, Parker has been at war with himself, right? Like he has a sense of duty and of obligation, right? He's a good little boy. And now he's been given permission to chase what he wants, what he really wants, to let that desire take hold, no matter what it is. And in this case, he loves archaeology. He loves like ancient things, and he values them, and he wants them because nobody else will appreciate them right. He is like an abusive lover to these objects.
And
that's
dig
comparison.
it. And I really like that because by starting in such a dark place, right? Or at least like, you know, Parker's like a good kid, but he's clearly been putting himself last at everything.
Yeah.
And now I feel like he's going to get his Spider-Man 3 asshole Parker moment.
Yeah. This is his
stop
arc.
recording.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Hello. This is Cole coming at you from an undisclosed location after I had to escape due to my inexhaustible many horrible war crimes. Now, in this episode, we see some stupid fucking librarian or something, I don't know, who has an alcoholistic drinking problem with his father, Orson Welles. He decides to be an antiquarian in his little house in Norfolk, Virginia, when suddenly something stupid happens. Of course, a man comes in with a big hat and a gun. And then horrible stuff happens, and magics and H.P. Lovecraft.
Yay!
One thing that I have to say that I really liked in this episode was, of course, the many bright lights that caused me to have an epileptic fit. And, of course, one thing that I didn't like was how the speaker man, he said the wrong word in the beginning. Negative points indeed, my good fellows. In general, I will give this episode a 54 out of 64. Bye.
Four pugs. The four are introduced. I think so far my favorite is going to be the first. Okay? And it's simply because he has a chimpanzee, and I have to be okay with that. What's wrong with Carl the Deranged? Oh, dude, the world may never know. Yeah, Bill and Parker are tied as your favorite. Bill is my personal favorite, okay? Bill is my absolute favorite at this point. And I think a lot of it has to do with just being introduced to this, okay? I think Bill is going to be my favorite, probably going to be my favorite character out of the bunch so far. Yeah, Carl is just Carl. Carl, you can't, you just have to understand Carl. What's wrong? Yes. Warpugs. It has been a long few days for me, but things are finally starting to level out. I am really excited to see what this weekend's going to bring. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm actually going to head out here kind of early. I usually stay and talk a little bit, but today I'm going to be stepping out a little bit early than I normally do. Mainly because my wife had to come and let me know something happened, so I need to go take care of that. But I appreciate you guys joining me. I really, really do. A monkey with a blicky. Yes, yes. Peter's player Frederick Knudsen was streaming the premiere on Twitch with Speaker D. Oh, they had a watch party. Nice. That's cool, Iron Fox. Guys, I'm going to take off out of here. What's on the shelf behind? Well, so far, just some stuff that I had back in Reno before we went to Indiana. Definitely before I came here. Some of this stuff, if you've been with the channel since I had 500 subscribers, you might recognize it, especially the helmet, a couple other things. When I get some shelving for back there, you'll see the office stuff from a few months ago coming back in. Until then, Warpugs, thank you for joining me. This was outstanding. I can't wait to see the next episode of this. I'm hoping the wait won't be that long. Until then, I'll catch you guys next time, okay?